So we all know the Logan Paul, CoffeeZilla, CryptoZoo drama saga going on across the entirety of the internet. Everybody's talking about it, and for good reason. Pretty interesting and shocking at the exact same time of everything that's going on, but it's not the only piece of drama going on in crypto. There's been a big battle, a big thing going on between a lot of exchanges in the crypto world and a lot of US-based exchanges as well. We got people like Gemini, Coinbase, Huobi, all going through it and all having different levels of things going on, and how the impacts of crypto with an exchange having some sort of problem going on is obviously something we've all already seen and don't really want to go through again. Not to say it's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen, but I don't like the news coming out of any of these exchanges. Personally, I would not keep any coins, any money on any exchange. You should take it all into self-custody on your own cold storage and not have to worry about one of these exchanges collapsing and losing all of your money. It is simply not worth the risk right now. Don't trust any exchange. It's a lot easier to trust yourself. But Gemini owners and founders actually put out an open letter to Barry, the owner and founder of DCG, who owns Grayscale, who owns Genesis. So DCG is very entangled in this whole crypto world, and they have a problem because they have some money missing from them. They open this letter saying, Barry, today marks 47 days since Genesis halted withdrawals. I'm writing on behalf of more than 340,000 earn users who are looking for answers. These users aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They are real people. A single mom who lent her son's education money to you, a father who lent his son's bar mitzvah money to you, a husband and wife who lent their life savings to you, a school teacher who lent his children's college fund to you, a policeman, and so many more. Altogether, these people entrusted more than $900 million of their assets to you. They deserve concrete answers, and we are here to get them. So a pretty big open letter from the Winklevi twins and Gemini to Barry, because they're out $900 million, and 340,000 people in the Gemini Earn program have their money frozen. So it's understandable why they would be upset about this. Their customers are unhappy, which means they have to deal with a lot of upset people. But the whole examples in there that he gives of people putting their life savings in, people putting college funds in, I mean, that is obviously like a hyperbole. Maybe people actually did that. It wouldn't surprise me, but that's not a very responsible thing to do. Don't put money in these earned programs at all anymore. After we saw Voyager and Celsius collapse, we should have all moved on and stayed far, far away from anything that has interest involved in it. And the Winklevi twins are really adamant that they are trying to get this money back. Obviously, it's good business for them. They want to look good for their customers. But at the end of the day, they also opened up that line to their customers. Coinbase doesn't have an earned program. They got shut down by the SEC for trying to offer that. Gemini made it happen, and there's a lot of problems coming up with that. And I also want to take some shots at Barry, saying the idea in your head that you can quietly hide in your ivory tower and that this will all just magically go away, or that this is someone else's problem, is pure fantasy. To be clear, this mess is entirely of your own making. DCG, of which you are the founder and CEO, owes Genesis $1.675 billion. This is money that Genesis owes to earn users and other creditors. You took this money, the money of school teachers, to fuel greedy share buybacks, illiquid venture investments, and kamikaze grayscale NAV trades that ballooned the fee-generating AUM of your trust. All of which is pretty true, and you can see just from that statement alone how entangled the entire crypto market and exchange thing is behind the scenes. DCG owns both Grayscale and Genesis. Genesis put the Earn program in with Gemini. That's how they got into that program, offered interest to their customers. Though they then took that money that Gemini gave them for interest, took it, sent it over to Grayscale, where they bought back their own shares, increased the value of Grayscale, increasing the fee that DCG would ultimately get. It gets pretty entangled and pretty crazy, and this is why this whole thing is just stay away. Right now, money is tight. Money is not free. It's not easy to come by, so you don't want to be involved in these extremely risky ventures that these companies are in. But Barry also responded to this letter on Twitter. You can see this is Cameron Winklevoss. This is a letter. Barry responded saying DCG did not borrow the $1.675 billion from Genesis. DCG has never missed an interest payment to Genesis and is current on all loans outstanding. Next loan maturity is May 2023. DCG delivered to Genisis and your advisors a proposal on December 29th and has not received any response. To which Cameron replied saying, "There you go again. Stop trying to pretend that you and DCG are innocent bystanders and had nothing to do with creating this mess. It's completely disingenuous. So how does DCG owe Genisis $1.675 billion if it didn't borrow the money? Oh, right, that promissory note." So even more confusing, and it's just so deep and embedded and everything's entangled. It's actually crazy to see all this going down and now out in the open because of this letter, because Gemini's fed up and you can't really blame them. And what we saw before with all these companies intertwined, DCG is just, it's so crazy what they have, what they own, how they're playing everything. And when times were good, they were flowing and the money was flowing like no tomorrow. Times are not good anymore. Money is expensive. It's very hard to get money nowadays. So the whole thing is unraveling. Now, what does this mean for Gemini? I don't really know. If you're in the earn program, I think you're frozen and unable to withdraw. And you might have to wait until something happens with DCG, or maybe Gemini can somehow fix the problem themselves, raise $1 billion and make people whole. Hopefully they have some sort of plan in place just in case this whole thing falls through. But if you're in Gemini at all, if you're in any exchange, just get out. Get out into self-custody. It's obviously a lot safer, and it's the best way to go about things right now. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be stuck in Gemini if you have money or funds in there. You don't want to be stuck in there and this caused a too big of a hole to repair and Gemini goes down like Voyager or Celsius did. And to go on to the next exchange, Coinbase, a pretty big one, like #2 exchange in the world, they have a problem with the SEC where they got fined $100 million. We can see that right here, saying the New York State Department of Financial Services found the exchange violated anti-money laundering laws in 2018-2019 by allowing customers to open accounts without complete background checks. As such, Coinbase has agreed to pay $50 million fine, as well as a further $50 million that will go towards its compliance practices per the agreement laid out in the settlement. So not only is Gemini dealing with their own problems with balance sheet holes and not being paid back money, now Coinbase is also getting fined for anti-money laundering laws and doing things in the past. Maybe they've shaped up, probably gotten better, and maybe this was a mistake, who knows. But the whole thing is a lot of bad news happening in the exchanges of crypto. And then to wrap this up, the third exchange, Huobi, it seems like they're in pretty big trouble. You can see here the shadow owner, Justin Sun, is perhaps the most erotic billionaire in crypto. Justin has been sending billions of dollars of stablecoins around the space, including in and out of Binance. Something huge is afoot: withdraw all coins from unregulated exchanges. So at the bare minimum, I think all exchanges you should be out of, but at the absolute bare minimum, anything unregulated, definitely run away from. But if we look at these tweets too, these are a couple of tweets from, people, I think employees in Huobi or people talking about what's going on. You can see here, seems to be melting down in real time, possibly along with His Excellency Justin Sun's fortune, shut down all intra-employees, IMs, etc., maybe fired a bunch of people. Employees are now angry. So just even more drama. We got the Gemini drama, we got the Coinbase drama, and the Huobi drama. All of these are pretty top tier exchanges. Coinbase is ranking up in like #2. Gemini's somewhere, I think, in like #10 or top 10. And Huobi is in the top 15. So these are not no name, low level, kind of under the radar exchanges. They're pretty big guys in the space. And hopefully we don't have to live through another FTX collapse, which I don't think is on the cards. I don't think Gemini is in risk of going bankrupt, at least right now. Coinbase doesn't seem to be like that. Huobi probably is going through something crazy, but they're not at the size of those other guys. So just the easy thing to do is take your money into your own hands. You only have to trust yourself at that point. And as long as you don't go bankrupt, I mean, you should be all right. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next